ECLECTICKA, Michael 7. Michael, we've got Drew, and we've got our man Charles Sensei Vegan. How you guys doing?
Dude, I'm digging that intro, man. Get the vibrato going.
Oh, man. You're watching ECLECTICKA, where everything's sci-fi, fantasy, all that cool stuff. Yep. And I think we got some controversy. We want to start with gaming today, Charles?
Oh, we got to start with this. You know we got to bring it with the gaming.
So what happened?
You know what? Activision Blizzard, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Number one, now they're at the forefront because someone had found that they have filed a patent basically to entice players for this whole pay-to-play, pay-to-win microtransaction things that go on with their supply drops and their loot crates, loot boxes, whatever you want to call them, which is just total garbage. And the great thing is we had bought this up on ECLECTICKA many shows ago about this whole thing going on anyway. But that's what they're trying to say, that the stuff isn't in game. They filed a patent. They're not using it. I'm like, whatever. I play the game. So I know as far as with like the points that you win to spend on a black market in Black Ops 3, the points you win in game, basically it's all fluff material. If you try to win like the new guns and all that type of stuff, you normally don't win anything until you spend your own money, right? So each spin is basically, it's $2. It's $1.99. That's Vegas, but you have better odds in Vegas, to tell you the truth. So now they're in hot water because people are saying it's nothing but gambling, and you have a lot of kids that play these games, and you know they're not paying for it. They're getting mommy and daddy's credit card, and they're running up $200, $300, $400, $600 in microtransactions, and they're still not getting all the weapons in the game. That's a shame when you're already paying, $65 for the game, another $50 for the season pass. And then you got to pay all this money for these microtransactions. So you're spending, $500,000, $600,000 on a single game? That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And they definitely should be investigated for freaking fraud. And then I said this a while back, that Black Ops 3, the game is coded. And I will say this for the record, the game is coded to play against you. I know I've been playing Call of Duty since the beginning. And certain things that go on in the game, I'm like, wow, is this really happening? But it's like if you guys have ever played the old racing games where you'll be way up ahead of somebody, and all of a sudden, toward the end of the race, it's like the person is right behind you. You're like, how did you catch me so fast? Because they had buffers put into the game where there was an automatic catch up, and that's the same thing going on with this Activision and Call of Duty. There's a lot of stuff built into the game to play against you to keep it competitive, so that the new players don't get frustrated and want to quit. They want to keep people playing and spending money, which is, hey, you want to make money, but at the same time, you want to be fair and not ripping people off. So Activision, I hope your game comes out with freaking bombs. Seriously, for you guys doing this you-know-what stuff to people just to get them to spend their money. Anyway, that's my rant for the week. Activision, Blizzard, you guys get 2 fingers, and you know what fingers I'm going to give you, but I'm going to keep this show rated G.
And on a positive note, yeah. Oh man, they finally casted Shazam.
Yeah, they did. And the choice makes sense, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, we might have been able to do a little better, guys. So Zachary, is it Levi or Levy? One of the two. I can never get the pronunciation with his name. He's been pegged to play the adult version of Billy Batson, a.k.a. Shazam. Those of you who know him from the show Chuck, a show I thoroughly didn't watch back in the day, from a few years back.
Wow,
rather.
That's going back a little bit.
That was quite a few years ago. I didn't like that show. I didn't watch it. And as far as other acting credentials goes, I know that he was the second guy to play Fandral in the Thor movies. So he's doing that thing where people who worked for Marvel, they're like double dipping and going over to the other camp. Josh Brolin's doing the same thing. Ryan Reynolds did the same thing. It's like you're switching teams. I can see it from a personality perspective because he has like that big kid type of like attitude about him, you know. So Billy Batson, for those of you who are a rookie and a poser, who don't know comics.
We're
Billy
being
Batson
nice
is a
tonight,
DC
everybody.
character who I'm just being mean. Billy Batson is a character from the DC comics who his thing is he's a kid. He gets imbued with the powers of from the wizard Shazam. Each letter in his name represents a different feature or attribute. The speed of what was it? Help me out here on this one, Charles. You know,
I don't know all the attributes. I'm gonna have
Damn
to.
it, Charles. You're
I'm
supposed
sorry,
to help
man.
me out on this one.
I'm sorry, but
but
I know
anyway-
it's. I don't know them all though.
But yeah. So anyway, the idea is that Billy Batson is a kid who gets to live out the empowerment fantasy of being a superhero. He's like a kid. When he turns into Shazam, he has all these gnarly powers, but he still has his mindset of a kid. I can see Zachary doing a good job with that, but on a vastly more superficial note, the dude isn't nearly as huff as he needs to be to play that role. Shazam's like a big, brolic dude. Shazam is actually bigger than Superman.
Yeah.
He's like taller than him. And because that's the funny aspect of it, because he's this big, towering dude, but he's a 12-year-old kid in his head.
Mind of a 12-year-old kid.
He's the mind of a 12-year-old boy.
Which should be hilarious if they do it right.
It should be good, but they're gonna have to bulk my dude up by a lot. They give him his protein and give him those damn dumbbells.
Yeah, because I mean,
he's gonna have to...
if I'm correct, isn't he supposed to be like taking the ultimate people throughout history as far as strength, like Zeus, Atlas? He's supposed to be reminiscent of all these people, right?
Different mythological characters. So it's the strength of Atlas. It's not the strength of Atlas. It's the strength of Hercules. I can never remember the entire list off of my head. And then there's, of course, his antithesis. He's the preceding wielder of this ability, who was Black Adam, who's going to be played by The Rock in a separate solo movie, because Warner Brothers. Yeah. Because Warner Brothers thinks we can just make franchises out of every character that we have.
You gotta have those two in the same freaking movie, man.
Because they're trying to sit up there and grab onto every potential nook and cranny that could be turned into a franchise. This is why they have a set of solo non-canon movies that they're going to be making, where Scorsese's going to be making a Joker flick, which is basically just, let's make a gangster movie and have Leonardo DiCaprio play the Joker in it, and have it take place in Boston because it's Scorsese. And there's these movies that I feel, in my personal opinion, I feel that this is them trying to set up different, the old adage, you don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? They're shotgunning these different movies into like the ether to see which one is popular and which one actually doesn't suck. So they can be like, all right, if Justice League flops and we can't really do anything with the rest of this franchise, what other film can we latch onto and use these DC canon characters in our movies? Like, which one can we use that, become like the next big thing? So that's why the whole Black Adam thing is going down the way
These
that
freaking morons, man. It's like they don't. I'm gonna sound like a broken record right now, but hopefully someone hears this and it finally gets into their heads, man. Follow DC. Follow your animated series. Follow your animated series and put those things into live action. You understand what I mean? Even with Shazam and Black Adam in their animated series, those things are good, man.
And
they're good.
I'm gonna refute that. Don't do it, because we already have a superior model. Whatever you guys cook up for live action, it's not going to beat the animated version.
Never.
It just isn't. I'm just going to say at this point, I'm not on the camp. I'm not in the boat of let's just adapt the animated movies then, or why? Just watch the original animated one at this point, because
dude, they got to do something, because their movies are gonna flop, dude. They're live.
I have heard two distinct stories from the Justice League movie. Some people are saying that it's an editing nightmare, and other people are saying that it fixes a lot of what we've seen in the other movies. This is kind of like game day for them. If Justice League flops, Justice League flops, they're going to have to reevaluate their entire model for these films, because they realize, oh man, we can't just replicate what Marvel did and make a great team-up movie if no one goes to see the team-up movie. So again, this is why they're going to be using all these other films that magically don't take place in the same universe, and they're going to see which one they can make some money off of out of that. That's essentially what it is.
Well, Drew, I think maybe the reality is somewhere in between. Maybe it's a nightmare because they have to fill up all these holes. Or it was a nightmare, but it's coming out good because they're filling up all these holes.
I'm waiting for. Can you explain the latter a little bit more to me? Because
Well, you just said you got two feedbacks. One was it's going to clarify a lot of things that were just.
I follow.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I mean, the last two trailers were better than the first wave of trailers and little sneak peeks we've gotten from Justice League. I heard they had to do reshoots.
Yeah, they had to do a ton of reshoots. The trailer for Suicide Squad looked good too, and that kind of was like a mess. It was different, and in some regards, that's actually was a good thing in my opinion.
Right.
But in a lot of ways, it was a mess. And Suicide Squad was kind of garbage. Trailer for Batman vs Superman looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I call that a bad movie with some really great parts in it.
Yeah, that's the way to put it.
So we'll see, man. I don't know. A good trailer that we did get though, that I'm really excited about, the new Black Panther trailer.
Oh, that looks just ridiculous.
That
looks so good, man.
No.
I think I might go dress as Black Panther for work.
You're gonna just roll like a super late Halloween costume.
What? That thing looks good, man.
It does look really good.
Getting like a weird sci-fi spy movie from this one, in this last trailer. They showcase a lot more of what goes on in Wakanda.
Mm-hmm.
Which happens internationally. They show like T'Challa and the other folks doing a whole lot of different things that I'm trying to connect the dots to. And the vibe that I'm getting is that they capture Ulysses Claw from Age of Ultron.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He will break free some type of way, and you come to find out that there's this, I guess you could say, derision or like a coup that's being mounted by Killmonger, and he's going to try to take over Wakanda, allied with M'Baku the Man-Ape. That's what I gathered from the trailer, and it looks like it's going to be friggin'
It looks good. My man comes out with his own Black Panther suit.
Yeah, that I wasn't too happy about. I mean, I know that is a thing, and I wish I could have given you an image of what Killmonger actually looks like in the Black Panther outfit, because in Christopher Priest's run of the comic, he does take over as Black Panther for a little while.
A little bit, he does.
He's got his own iteration of the Black Panther suit, and it's the one that you see in the film, but just kind of like watered down so Michael B. Jordan can wear it. And because he's not 6'8" or whatever the hell Killmonger is in the comics, he's just like kind of a built, but like, smaller dude. So it should be tough. I'm really hyped about it. It looks like it's going to be friggin' good. And again, I can't stress this enough. We're seeing imagery from this movie that you just haven't seen in a film yet. A sci-fi action, possibly spy film based and primarily in like a fictional part of Africa.
Yeah.
We've never seen that before, an African sci-fi adventure film. What?
Yeah,
So,
it looks good. I mean, I'm at the point where I'm just done watching trailers. I don't think my brain can take it anymore because I get so hyped up. I'm like,
more trailers. That this last one, you got my ticket already, movie. So let me just go see it. Don't tell me crap else. I don't need to see nothing. I'm good. Let's get it.
So you're saying is you're gonna actually see the movie? You
Oh yeah, I'm totally gonna go see the movie.
I'm just messing with you. It's like, who's not going to see this movie? That is the question.
I have my list of people, but I'll keep that.
This movie's gonna make some numbers, man. I believe so.
Oh, there's no way it's not. I mean, I think they can safely say they're gonna make $100 million the first weekend. Safely.
At the absolute worst, because we do have to take into consideration when. God, do I have to say this? Just because people act like they're hyped to do something doesn't mean that they are. When you expect movies to get of a certain type to get support and they don't get it, everyone wants to stand in awe.
And good segue to that. Ben Affleck is already working on this new Bat thing going on.
Oh, the other Batman movie?
It's happening.
They got to make
sure.
It's happening. I mean, they're already, which is interesting, Drew. You said something super interesting a couple of seconds ago. They're already working on the exit route. They're already looking for the excuse. Okay, well, if Justice League doesn't do well, we already got Batman to save the day. And
yeah, but you can't power that whole franchise on just one character. How about you make good movies, and then you figure out how you're going to put them together. DC and Warner Brothers had every action that they've made when it comes to their films pretty much has been a knee-jerk reaction to Marvel. I've been saying that for years now.
Yeah.
literally.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of starting with one character, connecting them to others, and then building up to a crossover film, it takes work, but it's not impossible. Okay, Marvel is at a point now where they can essentially every movie you could say is a crossover human movie, considering how many characters show up in each other's movies now after Phase 1, right? DC, instead of let's just shoehorn in all these other characters and populate a world that we haven't established with characters who we don't really know in this iteration outside of the comics, right? So if you're gonna run with that, at least do it friggin' justice. Batman and Superman should have just been a one-off thing, right? Where they meet, you have the dueling ideologies, they fight, they realize Lex Luthor's a dick, and then they take him down. You move on to the next story, where you have Wonder Woman, and you establish the pre-existing characters, the World War I and II characters who existed in DC, right? Then you move on from there. You could have done different things. World building and character development should have been the pillar, the core of these films. Not, oh my God, here's a teaser for all these other movies. Here you go, this, that, and the third. Justice League. How about these cute-ass symbols that we just randomly made up for no reason? Let's tease Darkseid and 8 other different galaxies that have no weight or bearing in this freaking universe so far. Like, it's just the executive touch are all over these films, and it's given them a very flimsy, messed up product. And it doesn't make for fun experiences for a lot of people.
What do you think about world building with the monsters? Now, what I'm talking about is you have King Kong. They just redid King Kong. And it was a nice segue that, there are other creatures that have been affected. Either they've been around for thousands of years hidden.
I agree. King Kong did a very good job of telling you one story while setting up yarns for another. It wasn't the other way around how Warner Brothers does it, where you're just getting a 90-minute trailer for other movies.
Gotcha.
King Kong, it's not a perfect film, but it gives you everything that you wanted, essentially, when it comes to King. The fact that my dude took a giant tree, I'm still stymied over that, how awesome that scene is. Well, boy, pulls a tree up out of the earth and rips the branches off like a thug. Like a thug. Like, that's just fun to watch. They focus on the fun and telling you a big, fancy schmancy, like, fun monster movie. And then at the end, the other films and the other characters that exist, that is worked in its own pace. It's the afterthought. Not
Are you going to see King of Monsters?
Oh, I'm seeing all those damn monster movies, bro. I grew up on those. I was a little dude in my damn, Huggies watching King Kong versus Godzilla. Okay, so it's going down. I'm there for life. And another, extreme, just around the topic of monster movies and setting up a broader universe, the Dark Universe, starting with The Mummy, I guess.
Yeah, they're going to do that. The Wolfman and Dracula.
They had parts in The Mummy that you liked, but a lot of it got bogged down and then essentially stopped bringing the movie to a screeching freaking halt just to tease what was their name? Paradigm?
Yeah.
Exum, whatever the hell Russell Crowe and his Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing was doing. It worked a little better, but you could tell at certain points that they stopped the entire movie to tease all these other films that they plan on making. Don't do that.
You don't have to do that.
Damn story.
You don't have to do that. I just don't understand how they messed that up, man. Even going back with DC and all that stuff, to me, it's so easy to write that stuff in, and I just don't understand why they have so much effing trouble.
The materials there.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. To me, it's just elementary stuff, man. And and
I say that because it's elementary to us because we're first and foremost fans, and in many cases, a lot of us grew up on these characters and these stories. But the people running these companies aren't nerds. They're money and numbers people, and they look at the demographic and they look at it as a series of beats that you hit in a movie to guarantee that they make back the money that they invest in this movie. They're not looking at it from a filmmaker standpoint, and that's
what they're screwing up.
Well, there's a bunch of movies supposed to come out. Well, obviously every year movies will be coming out, but there's already a sea of remakes, sequels for 2019. One of them is How to Train a Dragon. I don't know why there's a super interest in this still.
This will be the third one?
I believe so.
Yeah, I believe this is the third one.
Yeah, so that's coming. Oh, the Lego movie was pushed back, but that's happening.
Okay. All right.
You
And
got
it's
I think we said
Yeah.
that Bruce Willis is picking up the old Death Wish movie.
That one, okay. I'm glad you brought that one up, Charles, because that movie actually has me bothered. No. A story about an old white guy who gets mad and decides, I'm going to be a vigilante and start shooting people in the streets. Not the best climate for that right now, guys.
Oh,
And that movie, if you might not have heard, it got pushed back because
really?
of the shooting. Yeah, because of the shooting in Vegas, which I was prepared for. The movie itself just kind of had me go, I don't know if that's the one you guys want to put out right now, guys. And Bruce Willis, he's a paycheck actor. You like him, he's fun to watch, he's good at what he does, but he's a paycheck actor. And whatever makes him look like, how can I say this? Whatever is a safe enough mold for John McClane to do the same thing over and over again, he will do it if you pay him enough.
Wow.
I was like Tom Cruise, man. It's like Tom Cruise's movie.
And Tom Cruise, with his clause of,
same.
I need to be
I
seen
like Tom
sprinting
Cruise.
in every movie.
Yeah, they're same. It's the same.
Same thing again and again. Paycheck actors, man. No, it's not a bad thing. It's not. You shouldn't be, flogged in the street for doing what you do, being
Right.
good at it. But this particular movie, man, someone should have really pulled him aside and been like, "Look, dude, this is not the time for that. You got people out here getting shot, and it's really just the timing for that is really not good. It's like when 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
You've had this big flood of movies that just weren't palatable anymore. You couldn't make movies that featured too many explosions or focus on terrorism or even have certain words used that could be potentially triggering material for people. You got to be careful with the type of movies that you're putting out right now.
Well,
And just, yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
I think
Well,
with that,
as a film, Death Wish? Really?
they should have did it like an old, like Grindhouse style shoot. With
Make
that,
it.
yeah, with that like old look to it. That's what I would have did anyway. Give it that old look. I don't know why they had to do it over anyway, man. But
How
Yeah,
y'all
I'm like,
feel about
who's
Captain
Glamour?
Marvel?
Yeah.
Now
what?
we're seeing a lot more heroines out there. Captain Marvel.
We've gotten like a little bit of info on her.
Great actress.
don't-
I think she's a good actress.
I don't think it's going to do well if it's a solo movie.
Brie
Really?
Larson. No, it'll make its money back. I feel like worst case scenario for Marvel with their movies now, what I was saying before is they'll make their money back. Black
Okay.
Panther, I believe, will make their money back.
I definitely think Black Panther will. I don't think Captain Marvel's going to do as well as they think it. Most
They
people
will.
don't know. They don't know who she is, man.
They will, because I want to say this is their first female-centric superhero that they'll be making, so it'll make its money back.
Are they going to take? Well, it depends how they do Captain Marvel. Because remember, that's Rogue. That's how Rogue got our powers is off of Captain Marvel.
They don't have Rogue. It's going to be on some space.
But you know what I'm saying? That's how
Yeah,
Rogue
yeah.
are getting her powers.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Are they going to stick to that or they can't?
Because
Right?
they don't have the rights to the character, so they're going to.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like.
But no, it's not. That's actually canon though with the comics because there is an iteration. There's different versions of Captain Marvel. So one of them, I believe, it was the Kree technology that turned her into a superhero. That'll make its money back. I'm not too worried about that one. I need to see something from the movie first. We just have Brie Larson tagged as Carol Danvers so far, but we'll see. If nothing else, I think it'll be fun. It'll be like a how can I explain? Remember that crappy Green Lantern movie that we got from Ryan Reynolds?
I think it would be like that. It's probably going to be like that.
It's the basic model, not to say, it's the basic model of that, where you take a human character and you throw them out in space and they get super cosmic powers and stuff. It'll be that, but done at least, I'm hoping, competently. So,
I don't see that one doing well.
Well,
That's
I'm
just-
going to pop up a classic poster. This is for Masters of the Universe. The reason
why? Who cares? He-Man?
it's happening.
Didn't they? Well, they.
It is
I
happening.
remember.
Who
John
cares?
Sutherland's He-Man, baby.
It's
Remember that?
happening, and people are vying for the role for Skeletor already. People are trying to get. Oh, it's Charles. We spoke about this. It's amazing how you have so many people that back in the day would never do a superhero movie,
Touch these movies.
and now everyone is. Oh, I need to get in a super. I need to be a DC. I need to be a Marvel. I need anything. So this is going to be interesting to see what happens.
Or it could be just boring as hell because it's He-Man and who cares? But, all right. Sure. He-Man,
I'm
because
telling
there's,
you, man.
yeah, you were
Go back
clamoring to
and
go
watch
see that
John
guy.
Sutherland's version of He-Man.
Look, if they make, you know what? I'll tell you this much. I'll make a wager with you guys. I'll level with you right now.
Right.
Make your He-Man movie, but keep all the gay undertones in it. Give him the loincloth. Say that when he gets his sword, when he holds aloft his magic sword, he gets fabulous powers. You need to keep that line in. Go full on with it. You want to go there, guys? Good. Let's make it weird. Let's get it. Let's go. Because there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with homoerotic stuff. But I want to see if you guys sit up there, if you have the balls to make the original version of He-Man as he was experienced by all of us back in the 80s. Do it. Do it, guys.
That's
I dare
the
you.
dare of the century. And I know we're a little, well, not late, but a little late. But Blade Runner, before we get out of here, what do you guys think of Blade Runner?
With 3 minutes left on a movie that I didn't see, so you guys go ahead.
You still didn't see it?
What? All right.
I had stuff going on.
All right,
So
well, hold it back one more time. Let's go to Stranger Things, because you've seen the whole series.
I just finished that season 20 minutes ago, and that could be a whole nother video in and of itself, because I got feelings about this season. It was my show, my goobers, my kids came back, my Scooby gang came back on their little random-ass sci-fi capers in middle of nowhere, Hawkins, America. This was a fun, if in some ways frustrating season, and if you guys are willing to do another episode, I will go full in depth on my thoughts.
We could do that. So let's end right there. We're gonna talk about Stranger Things, and we'll get our 2 cents on Blade Runner. Give another week or so. And I'm Michael 7 Michael. Thank you very much, Charles, Sensei Vegan.
Boom.
And of course, Drew from the West Coast. Signing us off. Again, you're watching ECLECTICKA, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching, and continue to support what we do. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, sir.